Alright, so this video is going to make you mad, and you should know it has some graphic content. So click off now if you have a soft stomach. But before we get into it, don't forget to shop at onlytechnicalfans.myshopify.com and pick up some merchandise, because that's the only thing keeping me going right now. Alright, so the groundwork for this video is from time to time, Sirius will write in and I will read his letters on the channel. He's currently being held at Thomson USP for running an ad on this channel for a drawing that the ATF decided it was a machine gun, even though before he verified it and they said no. So, I don't know. Anyways, Thomson was a Supermax and facility that got converted to a low. If you're not familiar with how the FBOP operates their facilities, check out the video I released not that long ago about the FPS Russia. Alright, so let's get into it, and this is the last time I'm telling you that if you have a weak stomach, do not watch. Alright, so this is when he was on lockdown, obviously. And this is what he wrote. Hey love, I hope you're having a good day. Normally I wouldn't make a video about what's going on because it's part of the job, but this is pretty extreme and people need to know about it. So this is going to be the shocking story of what happened during the lockdown. And let's not forget, I'm at the quote-unquote low. Lockdowns are supposed to end at like mediums pretty much. I mean, it'll happen at, you know, lows, but just not as often or hard or extreme like they're doing. So it's Thursday the 25th. They have us go to our cell for 4 p.m. count like normal. And it sucks because I just got done working out, so I'm covered in workout sweat. And normally 4 o'clock count happens at about 4:30. And it never happens. Instead of count happening at about 5 o'clock, a CO comes in the range screaming like he just caught me in bed with his daughter. Shut your doors and don't come out of your cells. And then the TV shut off, and not gonna lie, I was a bit worried at this point. And I'm sorry if I'm botching a lot of this because the handwriting, I'll give it a, actually it's really good handwriting, but maybe it's just my vision. I usually keep a substantial lockdown kit, but I just got out of a cell with a bad cellie and I was letting him eat out of my kit because he didn't have a pot to piss in. Thank God I have a good cellie now because it makes a world of difference, but back to the story. Chow doesn't come. Okay, first of all, I hate the fact that they call it chow because it's intended to treat them like they're fucking animals. Like, chow, okay, come get your fucking chow, you dog. No, it's dinner. Anyways, back to the story. Chow doesn't come. Then the kitchen workers come back and they're talking about COs walking around with firearms. I immediately don't believe them, to say it nicely. The kitchen workers on my range aren't the brightest crayons in the box, so the days going on still no chow, and at like W o'clock, I don't even know what that is, I don't know, going on still no chow, and like W o'clock when they finally bring us chow, sure as shit there are COs walking around with live ammunition. And I probably don't need to explain this to you because you're my subscriber, but whoever made this call should be terminated because the level of incompetence is unexcusable. The safety risk with putting guns on the ground in a fucking prison here, I'll just paint the picture for you. But you already know that if someone is within 2 feet of you, they can rush up before you can have the chance to get a shot off. So here I am staring at Rambo walking down the range with a select fire M4, and this retard doesn't get within 21 feet of me. He gets within 10 and then shows me his back in one of his tactical situational spins, and it gets worse. If I would have been on the other side of the wall, he would have been within 3 feet of me. I need to spell out how incredibly bad things could have went if one of the inmates had a personal vendetta to settle. I just want to take a minute to laugh at this guy's ridiculous setup. I'll give him points for the cult mag, but he had so much rail on there it went just past the muzzle. What did he do with all of this rail space? He ran a single tack light, which looked to be a streamlight pistol light, and he was ever running a Holson or an aim point red dot, but after seeing him run that insane amount of rail space that he attached to his weapon, I wouldn't put him that it was a Holson. I think he belongs to the Bushnell Club. Now, granted, this guy was built like a M1 Abrams, but I bet you anything that we weighed every bit of 9 pounds fully loaded. Let's not forget the single point QD mount sling he was rocking for easy removed. So that happened, and I'm shitting my pants because now I'm convinced that I'm under control of a bunch of retards, and let me tell you, they don't fail to impress me. The story is about to get thick. So, after I finally calmed myself down and go to sleep, which was not easy because Rambo was on the prowl, so I was just waiting for a negligent discharge to happen. So needless to say, I'm up pretty late. So I sleep most of the morning away, and I waken to them now locking all of the doors because this is a low and the doors should never be locked. The locks were disabled, so they had to go around and re-engage them. All needless to say, I'm miserable because I'm covered in workout sweat and I never had an opportunity to shower, and I have less than a 12-pack of pop, and there's guards on the bottom of the doors that leave only about 3/4 inch gap under them to get things through. I didn't think it was possible. Turns out my Sully fishes like a boss, but we'll touch more on that later. He's funny. I'm so sad that he moved. But like, I'm also happy for him too because he's not at that shithole place. So I have to wear this workout outfit for 6 days because got locked down on Thursday and weren't allowed to shower until the following Tuesday night. So we go to the door to cuff. So we go to the door to cuff up, and when they open the cell door, the captain says, "Oh, what the fuck?" Like he just caught us banging his wife. But instead, he was talking about the 8 slices of bread on top of my locker that I had saved up because I was trying to ration what little food I had left in my kit that my previous cellie dwindled down to nothing because we got locked down one day before we went to the commissary. So the captain takes the bread and our fishing line, but the good news is that he left it right outside our door, and our neighbor, a retard hillbilly with a bunch of missing teeth, likely from OH, fished it back to us, which brings us to the next significant event. The following Tuesday before 4 o'clock count, our toilets started flushing funny. I was able to get a CO to give me a plunger, which was unuseful. So I requested a snake to hopefully acidify the problem, but was denied the snake. Shortly after, my cellie needed to use the toilet, and it was the straw that broke the camel's back, because when he tried to flush the toilet, it went off like a grenade school baking soda volcano, covering our floor and the space right in front of our door in toilet paper and fecal matter, which can only be described as beef stew. The fuck. The smell was amazing, as you can imagine, and that's when he started flagging down COs. Everyone from the run-of-the-mill COs to Rambo, now carrying less than lethal to LTs, lieutenants, to the unit manager begging them for a mop and a snake, and we got neither. We ultimately had to take shower sandals and push the water under the door, smearing fecal matter across the door so we have a toilet full to the brim. Fecal matter across the floor, a smell so strong it could make your eyes water. They refused to switch us cells no matter who we asked, and we even filed a BP8, so we had to get crafty at this point. We used a pair of fingernail clippers and a bootlace to cut a hole in one of our chairs to make a makeshift porta potty. We shit in trash bags and had to piss in our sinks. And at this point, you may be thinking, hey, Cirrus, that seems a little extreme. And that's the kick to this story, because we were locked in that cell just short of 98 hours. Let me put that to you into days. That's 4 days living in our own filth, which is unhealthy. You can get so fucking sick from that shit. That should be a fucking lawsuit right there. Shit spread across the floor, sitting in bags, pissing in the spot where you brush your teeth, wash your hands, and got your drinking water from. Needless to say, when we got into the new cell, I had explosive diarrhea for 3 days. Pretty sure I got dysentery. I can never pronounce that word. Dysentery. So that's about the extreme of the lockdown. It's insane. I'm at a low security prison and I've been locked in my cell 2 out of the 5 months this year, and if you count the range lockdowns, we've been locked down for approximately like 2/3 of the year so far. And also, they barely fed them. They weren't giving people their meds. I think the moral of the story here is I don't think a supermax facility could ever be a low, because the facility allows way too much power to the compound. For X, they can control our water, lights, movements, and they don't hesitate to exercise this power, because everyone knows power almost always gets abused. The first 2 days of lockdown, they kept the lights on in our cells until like 1 a.m. and now they flip on the lights at 6 a.m. every day to wake up the range. And they even shut off the water in our cell when we threatened to flood it because they wouldn't move us. That's fucked up. And these people, like, have families. Do they think they're good people? Like, I don't know, you guys. The system's so messed up. Good thing this is a low and I don't have Buffalo Bill as a cellie, because when we tried to press our panic button, it was either shut off or ignored. In my opinion, this isn't a low and never could be a low. This needs to be a penitentiary. I'm a first-time offender and essentially going through the SHMOO program. I do not get rec, phone calls, emails, TV, and I'm locked in my cell 24 hours a day, minus the 7 minutes of shower 3 times a week. I'm getting bagged lunches, continuing the same food 6 days a week. The bags contain a ham sandwich, peanut butter pack, and an apple. And then once a week we get a hot tray, which is ice cold and slimy. I apologize for the long rant, but this whole situation has blown my mind and needed to be documented. I appreciate you guys supporting my girl. Love you, babe, and don't forget to tell them where to shop at. He's so fucking cute. I love him. It's really crazy because they had like, it was like a max, a penitentiary, and then it got switched to low, and then the old, what's his name? I can't even think about it. Warden, because the old warden, he left, and so they got a new warden that ran a penitentiary in California. It's like, no, we need a warden that runs a low, that knows how to do a low. But even if the facility still has fences and stuff, there's no programming and stuff a lot there, and yeah, it's wild. I'm sorry for my cats making noises. It's just like impossible to just like make a video that's completely peaceful. But yeah, I thank you guys so much for watching and supporting me and my family and continuing to do so. And if you would like to continue, don't forget to shop at onlytechnicalfans.myshopify.com, and there'll be other links in the description, such as like Amazon, even when you click on the little box. If you don't shop from what's on that box, just because you click that link for my channel, I get a kickback, so I appreciate it. Also, there's Patreon, and I found out there's like a new tab where you can do like a group chat, so that's kind of cool. And there'll be other ways to support. And until next video, guys, peace. Poppy! Leave her alone, dude. This is her cat box and food is down here, dumbass. She just wants to come down here to eat and shit. Why do you look so angry? You're so prissy. Do you know that? Yes, I just want to hear you rolling the ball around while I make a video and interrupt me. Seriously, Kiki!